What is going on, guys? Lottery Socks here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel if you're new. First of all, hopefully you enjoyed your 3-day weekend. Happy Easter. This is a holy week for most Americans, including myself. So just take a second to drop a comment and thank God for everything you have. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. So first of all, I just wanted to touch on the Super Mario Bros. Movie is absolutely shredding the box office and could definitely help AMC's next earnings announcement, which I believe is on May 5th, which if you're a short seller, this could be scary for you going forward. Now, this was a long weekend. First, we had a Friday update video that was pretty long, touching on AMC, GameStop, The Spy, where I think everything is going to go come next week. Then we had a sponsor video, and then we uploaded that whole Cinemark buyout video. I uploaded that last night if you haven't seen that. I wanted to touch a little bit on Cinemark. Some people were talking about it as a potential play based on the fake rumor that is going around regarding the AMC Cinemark buyout. Okay, so Cinemark is trading at $15.21. If I bring in the drawings right here, it is at dangerous level to say the least, and it's also not a company I would go long on for long term, especially betting on AMC's competitor. That would be necessarily betting against AMC, but again, it's all about making money, right? So where Cinemark is trading at right now, it actually does have a chance to come up and fill a gap right around $16.20, but it's definitely risky as it is hitting a resistance level where it's trading at right now and could definitely come retrace back to about $14.35 where it recently based off of. Now, Cinemark did break out of this falling wedge, retested it, and it got another bounce, which is looking solid, but I wouldn't buy in at highs as you have a high risk at becoming a bag holder, and it's probably going to retrace at least back down to $14.35, if not $14 before getting another potential bounce, and that is if it bounces. Another thing to note is the Bollinger Bands. This is trying so hard to break out of the Bollinger Bands, and when a stock tests this extremely hard, it usually gets slapped even harder back to the downside. This is just one indicator you can use to say, okay, well, is this a good time to buy the stock for the short amount of time? Now, if this news breaks out and shorts want to cover on Cinemark, then that's a whole different story. If it starts rallying, if it breaks out and it breaks the algorithm, so on and so forth. But right now, in my opinion, I would not be jumping into Cinemark. If it does start to move, I'd say a 5 to 6% day tomorrow, and it's just not worth the risk to reward for me. Now, I've talked about AMC finding a new relative low come this week, and I still stick to it. There's many reasons why, but of course, mostly it's based off of these cycles. I think coming down to this date at April 12th, which is Wednesday, which is also CPI day, which is interesting because that could affect the market and what happens with stocks. I think AMC is going to hit a low right before or on this day. This is when I'm loading up on calls, and I have explained that several times, but I just want to further explain my thesis. Also, touching on the Cinemark play. Right here, I have XRP and I have Cinemark overlaid over XRP. I've talked about how AMC and XRP correlate a little bit, but I wanted to point out something with Cinemark. They kind of do the same thing, but Cinemark shows basically what XRP does. So if you want to reflect XRP to AMC, you can reflect AMC to Cinemark based off of XRP, if that makes sense. So let me explain. If you take a look at Cinemark, this makes the first moves before XRP actually make its move. For example, right here, you're seeing this flush sell-off, and now you're seeing this trading. What's happening right now is XRP is getting this little pump. However, following this pump, Cinemark actually got slapped pretty hard. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean AMC is going to crash, but this just further explains my thesis that in the very, very short term, I think AMC is going to find a low. Because if XRP tracks Cinemark and AMC tracks XRP, then what's going to happen is XRP is going to trail to the downside, follow this crash. AMC is going to trail to the downside, follow the XRP crash, right? Not necessarily a crash, but a slight sell-off, finding a relative low, and that is my outlook coming this week, and I expect to make a decent profit based off of this thesis, based off of these cycles, and based off of everything else, riding out AMC calls with a few months out expiration once it does hit this relative low. So just keep that in mind. Further explaining that, Antera loading up on puts, selling APE, selling AMC, so on and so forth, shows that insiders might see something coming. They might know something coming. Although we did have a very, very weird week where some people were selling a ton of puts, bullish, some people were purchasing a ton of puts, bearish, right? More people are betting bearish this week on AMC, and I think it does line up somewhat well. However, I wouldn't bet bearish bearish for too long because we're coming up on that earnings and the box office is crushing it better than ever before, which is going to help AMC's fundamentals. But you do have that lawsuit hopefully get settled on the 27th, so on and so forth. Now, before we move on, I want to give everyone a quick reminder to remember why you got into this play. Remember, AMC stock can basically go to infinity and or whatever price you sell at. Whatever price you sell at in particular, because if everyone thought this way, then the share price would go much higher, and that is exactly why we have seen the amount of corruption we've seen over the past couple of years on AMC. Just remember, the price can go as high as possible, and the reason it hasn't is because it would have screwed over many big players. It would have screwed over basically everything and how the system is ran, and that is why it has not done so yet. But just keep that in mind, that our community still has full control and full power over this price and where it goes to. Now, something that might scare the markets next week and have a little bit of a retracement on the SPY, Europe must reduce dependence on the US dollar, and we have CPI data inflation coming out Wednesday. We have the FOMC meeting on Wednesday, PPI inflation on Thursday, jobless claims Thursday, retail sales Friday, as well as consumer sentiment. All of this is going to affect the market, and Wednesday the market is probably going to be insanely volatile. Now, some things that also might have a negative effect on the market. Taiwan has now detected 70 Chinese aircraft and 11 warships surrounding the island. Just to make it even sketchier, sending American troops to Taiwan is apparently on the table if China invades. So if China does invade Taiwan, the US will not hesitate to send American troops over there, which can further spike altercations and potentially lead to a World War III, which is not something that we want. Now, what's happening is China is surrounding them with fighter jets, and they're also carrying out simulated precision strikes on Taiwan. They basically say, you know, this is just a drill. If you had literally think of Call of Duty. If you had a precision airstrike being practiced on your house, practice on your house, practice on your house, are you going to not be a little bit sketched out as to why and where they're in particularly practicing that? That is exactly why Taiwan is going on high alert. They are now on high alert, and now there are 20 ships involved in a standoff between China and Taiwan. But China, again, just says that these are drills. These drills are just around Taiwan just to practice. But why and why in this spot is this happening? We have had more geopolitical issues over the last 2 years than the previous 10 years. You guys let me know in the comments if you think a World War III is coming. Now, if you care at all about Tesla, Tesla is building a new factory in Shanghai. Tesla to make new energy storage product, a new factory, and to start production at the new China factory in 2024, as well as build a new Shanghai plant for Megapack battery. Now, taking a look at Tesla, the risk to reward is actually there. You have a 41% upside for a gap fill and a 21% downside for a gap fill as well, at about 146 and 262. However, Tesla is at the top of this descending parallel channel, which is risky because you're basically risking this retest to retrace back down. And in my opinion, I would watch for a breakout over the recent relative highs right around 217.20 before I even potentially ride that up about 262 bucks. And if you want to be really safe, I'd watch for a break over 240 before riding that out as well. On top of that, a group of people have mounted a lawsuit against Tech Mogul. They are asking for damages totaling $258 billion on the basis that Musk misrepresented Dogecoin. So even though this doesn't have to do with Tesla, it does have to do with Tesla because a lot of investors in Tesla and in Dogecoin only invest because they like Elon Musk. Overall, guys, you let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. This is the Monday update video for next week. If you have not seen the videos I uploaded this weekend, they do still stand up, and you should be updated on everything that's going to happen come next week. Also, if you want up to 17 free stocks, use my link, download Moomoo. You have to make a deposit once you sign up to start earning free stocks. You also get access to free level 2 order book data so you can see where whales are loading up and dropping off shares, access to trading options, going long, going short, and more. Also, guys, pop in the Discord linked under the video. Get in there before the week starts so you can actually get some good trading opportunities that we talk about in there. Plus, there's options, trading alerts, we post losses, post gains, and more. I love you all. Lottery Socks out.